Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and staying safe. I'm just starting out with the top hat there. Just a sideways S shape. First line, follow along with the second line, coming in, coming out, coming back in again. Then going up with the top hat. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I've got a super tip that I'm going to share on how you can make great skulls non-stop, just at ease. So stick around for that. So this is just an oval shape. Just trying to simplify things a little bit so you kind of understand what we're trying to do. Bit of a square shape, rectangle shape, and then put the crossbones in. You want to just stay nice and loose, real loose. Kind of like that, nice and loose. This guy's got round eyes. Most an anatomical skull has rectangular eyes, but his eyes are just round. Very simple nose on this guy. Fall along the cheekbone, the eye socket, cheekbone. Come out a little for the mouth, round again for the chin, and done. Fall along the back of the head. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to have a special crossbone drawing tutorial as well. I'm going to show you a really quick way that you can draw crossbones at will, non-stop. If you take a look at crossbones, they're basically two femurs crossed, so it's always good to know what they look like. So when in doubt, look at some reference pictures, and then deviate as much as you want. I've always liked this skull across that top hat coming up by Escher. Well, I always found it kind of freaky how his head seems to grow right out of the hat. But the hat's terrific and the skull's really cool. And who might have really critique Escher? That's the guy that drew these things, which are pretty amazing. That one's pretty crazy. Just tightening up the lines on the crossbones. Crossbones are basically, a stick with two circles at the end. They're kind of, modified. So this is a very simple mouth. Some mouths are complicated, some are very simple. This guy's got a very simple one. Straight up and down teeth. Two eyeballs with just little C's that get bigger at the bottom for the pupil iris combo. And if you look at the eyes, I always do one eye, the front eye, bigger than the other, so it gives a little bit of a sense of perspective. You can also do that with the crossbones, make the front crossbone look a lot bigger than the back crossbone, and then it looks like the crossbones are coming out. I feel that looks pretty cool sometimes. Getting a little wiggly here. And don't worry about the line of the hat coming down into the hat. That's going to be blacked out in a minute. You won't even see it. So there's that sideways S shape, which I'm going to give you a quick tutorial at the end. Start in, come out, and then go back in at the end. Come up, over, back in and down. And the brim usually, we're doing the eyes, okay. So I usually like my hats to intersect the eyes. It makes him look like he's under the hat, which he is. along the eye socket, out for the cheekbone, generally out for the teeth, then out again for the chin. And right back into the hat. Straight line teeth. Like I said, this is a simple mouth. Black out a couple teeth, it always looks nice. Right now I feel the nose looks a little small, but I'll come back in later and make it a little bigger, so I think that improved it. So coming up is a Ouija board I drew called the Mystic Skull for a company that is defunct, no longer exists, and the boards are no longer sold. But I like the skulls on this board, especially the guy in the upper top left with the top hat. I've been drawing variants of him for the last 20 years. This board came out at the turn of the century. There's the brim, which is usually red, or I usually make them red. Not the brim, sorry, the band, hat band. And it usually follows along with the curve of the top of the hat. It doesn't have to be perfect, just close. Having a little fun with the skull shape and adding in some details. There's no real rhyme or reason to some of these details. Just trying to make them more interesting. While this guy's not anatomically correct, I think he looks fun. And when drawing skulls, I'm not always trying to make a skull look anatomical, if that makes sense. Especially in a tattoo style or graffiti style, whatever, or cartoon style. Come in and then pick a point there and come out again. Down, around, come in, come down and around, make another roundish shape, and come right through. So I sped this up while I color in the black parts. No point wasting time with that. And I use a king size Sharpie to fill in big black areas. I prefer that than using just my smaller Sharpie, the regular Sharpie, because that'll wear down the tip, and I try to keep the tip as sharp as long as possible on my main drawing Sharpie. Even then, they wear out relatively quickly. This video's in regular speed, by the way, other than this part. Real time, I should say. Adding a couple little sweat drips. Always has a little fun. Oh, hit subscribe, guys, if you like this video and you feel you're learning from it and you want more like this. his nose a little bit bigger. Okay, now for the quick Crossbones tutorial. Just draw a stick with 2 circles. And before you get carried away and think that looks like something familiar, you're right. It looks like a wonderful chandelier lamp that you may have in your home. Anyway, draw a stick with 2 circles, go up, come around, come in the middle of the other circle, and then loosely draw the other circle with kind of, a bit of a rectangular shape. So here's another one. Stick, this one's got a circle and a diamond. Come around, intersect the diamond, come back around and follow it around loosely, a loosely roundish diamond. I'm being very loose when I say use a diamond. Now for a top hat, sideways top hat. So you really can see here how it's just an S shape, followed by a secondary line following the first S, and then come around over the top. That bend. You get the idea. Another one, S shape, secondary S, and the top. So you can think of the top as it looks a little bit like a nuclear reactor, those are hideous things, aren't they? Flipped upside down with a bit of a round arch on the top. So think of it like that. You never really go wrong. Couple more, stick, circle, square, follow around, intersect the square, come around, and you can get as crazy with these as you want. And don't forget, you're drawing femurs, refer back to pictures, and you can have as much fun with it as you want. You can draw them maybe take a piece of paper and draw 50 of them, and by the end of it you'll be a master at drawing crossbones. It's that easy. You won't need, after a little bit, you won't need the little guide that I figured out after. You can just go right to the crossbone drawing. That's looking good. Just adding in some details. Yeah, you're doing great. Little wrinkles here or there. Now guys, as I promised, it's time for my super tip for drawing great skulls. What you need to do is you need to get a good skull. I got this skull a long time ago. I think I got it on eBay. It may have been Amazon, but I'm pretty sure eBay. But unlike a lot of skulls out there, this one has really great teeth. Take a good look at the teeth if you want to go purchase a skull. And I always keep this on my desk. No matter how simple the skulls I'm drawing, it's in my mind what a skull actually looks like. So get one, keep it on your desk, and you can refer to it anytime. And I think it really helps your skulls immensely. And if you did 20 quick drawings a day, you'd really improve. So here's a skull, bad skull. Look at the teeth. They look too perfectly weird, I could say. Doesn't look right. This guy's, well, he's bad all over, bad teeth. Eyes look okay, something wrong with the nose. This one is just pretty foobar. It looks like a deteriorated skull that's been cast badly. And this one has really foobar teeth. They're too straight, and the whole lower jaw looks bad. What I think happened was, I think that it's the cast made from a skull that had no teeth, and an artist recreated the teeth badly. So here's the good skull, like mine. I don't know if this one, mine has an articulating jaw, so look for one with hinges on the sides of the jaw. But it looks like this. Take a good look at the teeth, and if you go out looking for a skull, that is the one you want, and that will help your skull drawing a lot. Keep referring to it. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care.